Hello guys, welcome to a bumper episode of Disco Decks where we are reviewing episode
10 and 11.
Yes, episode 10 for Galactic Barrier and episode 11 Rosetta. No episodes this week named after nice soft drinks.
No, which is a shame because we can't go on a soft drink ramble like we did last week. Yeah.
So, what did you think, Matt? Oh, again, spoilers of these episodes ahead.
Yeah. I mean, one of them is at least 2 weeks old now, James. So,
yeah.
It's your own fault if you're watching this before watching.
We're not particularly topical, me and Matt.
No. Which is why we're doing a double bill this week to try and catch up a little bit.
Yeah. You might also get a review of things like the Batman film from us in 6 months' time.
I mean, well, James has already seen it, and may even go and see it again. So that's a partial hint to James's review. I am going to endeavour to see it this week, if I can.
However, you know what the biggest problem with it?
What?
Not enough Star Trek uniforms.
No, certainly not enough Star Trek uniforms. Which we discussed at length, actually, in the episode that we did that we filmed the other day, that will go up the same day as this, I think.
Yes.
About Picard, season 2, episode 1, because that's back, and also on this brand new Star Trek dedicated channel.
Aye. Our new channel, Bears Boldly Go.
Bears Boldly
Which means
Go, yes.
I don't have to say Bears Boldly Go at the start of the episodes because it's kind of redundant.
Yes, it's completely redundant now.
I can just say the name of the show.
Just the name of the show. I loved these episodes, James.
Yes, they were pretty good.
They were very good. Like, because they're obviously teasing us. They're like, you know, trying to make the drama last as long as it possibly can before they reveal who or what the 10C are.
I have my theories. I think the 10C visited Earth in the what century are we on now? 21st?
Ours?
Yeah.
21st.
I think the 10C visited Earth in the 20th century.
Go on.
I think a member of the 10C lived with a British presenter in a manor. I think the 10C are the same species as Mr. Blobby.
Oh, right. I didn't.
Now I could be wrong, but that's me putting my guess in the hat.
I mean, that's a very, very big statement. Like, and I'm going to need a Mr. Blobby image for that now, aren't I? Because it's like for
people are very like, what's Mr. Blobby?
Yeah, for people who are like under a certain age or international audiences, they will not get that.
Not seared on the nightmares of every British 90s child.
Yeah. So, although saying that, quite topical, because it was Mr. Blobby was referenced in a recent Great British Menu. As well.
Maybe that's why he's rattling around in my head.
It's probably why he's rattling around in your head. I somewhat doubt that it's the Mr. Blobby species. It would be incredible if that did happen.
Imagine if I just randomly called it, and it.
I mean, as Red Nose Day is coming up, it's not something that's out of the realms of possibility if the BBC and Paramount just decided to do something stupid for comic relief. I would be totally up for that. A Doctor Who Discovery Blobby spin-off, like crossover show.
We have had Doctor Who TNG
in the
series
comics,
in the comics. It was very good.
Yeah.
They had Tom Baker visit the original series. Like, they had a flashback, and it was Tom Baker with the TOS crew. And the whole thing is about the Borg and the Cybermen basically teaming up.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Because they are basically the same thing.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so the first one is that we're discussing today, Galactic Barrier, is, well, I mean, it does what it says on the tin. It's about getting through the Galactic Barrier.
It's also, I'd say, Keely about Tarka's backstory.
Definitely. So it fleshes Tarka's backstory out a bit more.
Why I still don't agree with his actions. I get it.
He's more humanized. You understand his motivations. Again, you don't have to agree with his motivations. He's still arguably the villain of the piece. Because
I wonder if he's. It's weird because I think transplanted into any other franchise, he wouldn't necessarily be the villain of a piece. But because the fundamental core
truly selfish, though.
Well, he is, but in a way that could be heroic elsewhere. It's just that the core notion of Star Trek is about the collective. Everything about Star Trek is about what's best for the collective. While he's very much about himself.
Yeah.
Even that's why Book is on odds, because as much as he says it's about saving people, there's an element of it being a vengeance trip.
Oh, it totally is. It totally is, yeah. And I think that, like...
Which is why he is now excised from the collective.
Yeah. Because, like, Book just wants it to come to an end. But at the same time, if he gets to cause a bit of grief in the meantime...
Yeah.
Because of what's happened to his home planet... Again, perfectly justifiable. I think that's the thing, that, like, for him, like, witnessing his home planet absolutely, utterly decimated, that's something that none of us could understand. And obviously, we're in a political climate at the moment where we're seeing a country getting absolutely decimated, and the certain acts of heroism, and it could have gone a completely different way than maybe their president is handling, because their president is doing an incredible job.
Yeah.
And so seeing what Buck is going through, you have sympathy for him, because you want him to succeed. Yeah, you want him to succeed, but you also want him to succeed in the right way. You feel that, like, he will hopefully side with Michael in the end.
Yes. I mean, I think we saw that last week, right?
Yeah.
Tarka took the decision away from them all.
He's open to logic. Whereas Tarka is truly selfish. I get the feeling that, like, he doesn't care if the anomaly never ends, because as long as he can use its power source to get to the heaven, essentially, this idealistic utopian galaxy, parallel universe. I can't remember the name of in whatever language it was that his friend spoke, but
maybe have we?
It just means home.
Have we contemplated the very obvious thing here? That species 10C. That's the obvious through line, surely.
I had thought about it. Yeah. Like, because I mean, the thing is that, like, obviously, jumping to episode 11, we see some ruins, and eventually we see what. But
the bones were big.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the implication is that species 10C, but what if it isn't species 10C?
Yeah.
What if it's a species that had the technology and the power and etc. to do what 10C wanted, and they just went in there and stole it?
Maybe, yeah.
Because obviously, these admittedly giant creatures of some sort, possibly like snake-like creatures, from the visions that Saru gets, they were advanced enough to build Dyson rings.
Yeah.
Around that planet, around that star. So
I love that Star Trek's playing with a Dyson ring. Love a good Dyson
like,
ring.
Well, I mean, obviously, previously we'd only seen a Dyson Sphere.
Which, if you're into Dyson Spheres, not Dyson Spheres, Dyson Spears, may I suggest the absolutely amazing film Moonfall?
Yes.
All about Dyson. The moon's a Dyson Sphere. Brilliant film. I mean,
terrible but brilliant. Like it's the yeah.
It's the most fun I've had in the cinema in a long time.
It's Roland Emmerich.
It is, yeah.
I bloody love Roland Emmerich because he just makes he makes that you know exactly what you're getting.
Like I think
exactly like if you go to McDonald's and you buy a McDonald's, you know what you get.
Did you watch Fingy's review of it? Commode's
yeah, I did see.
It's a wonderful review and it nails it.
Yeah, because it like Commode knew exactly what he was going to get, and then it was dialed up even further. But still, Commode knew exactly what he was going to get, and because he knew exactly what he was going to get, he didn't go in with his like proper film critic's hat on. He went in with the like, I'm going to eat some popcorn and I'm going to see some stupid and I'm going to have some fun. But yeah, anyway, back to Dyson rings. So yeah, I mean, I always thought maybe it might be Tarka that's inside it. That it's a Tarka from the future who has just become obsessed, absolutely obsessed with finding enough power. Like
maybe
because the thing is that like if the anomaly is mining a mineral that creates obscene amounts of power, then like maybe it is Tarka just looking for more and more and more and more and more and more and more power, and he like and this is the way that he does it, and this is his view into his future. And it's whether he chooses at that point. Yeah. Does he embrace the fact that he's going to become a massive, massive genocidal maniac? Or does he stop it from ever happening in the first place? So, by making the decision, no, I'll pull back.
I mean, the third theory would be potentially the AI race from Picard.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously,
and maybe that's the reason they didn't save Picard to the end of Discovery, and they're airing in tandem. But who knows? We'll find out. We haven't got long left to go.
It could be because I mean, obviously the AI race that was at the end of Picard season 1, they were quite snaky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What if maybe the snaky creatures in?
But we do seem organic from the powders and things that give.
Yeah, but what if they created artificial intelligence?
Cause it destroyed them.
Like, yeah, because obviously we in theory
because you would create it in your image,
your own vision, in your image. Yeah. So what if
and that's what destroyed that planet?
Yeah. So it could be that because if they are going to tie everything together with this AI,
there's part of me that feels that AI storyline may have been
by the wayside,
pushed to. It's New Trek's brainworms.
You see, I'd still love it if it were the brainworms.
You know.
I mean, there is a possibility that
Ben,
it's the brainworms.
I've got just a thing for you. You know, I said I was planning on running a Star Trek RPG on the channel.
Yeah.
It is an adventure that features said brainworms.
Well.
But so there's some wonderful little character moments across these as well. Let's see, I think Tarka gets the great points in the first episode, but then even like the President and Michael, because God damn it, on this ship we cry.
Yeah,
we're in touch with our emotions on the. God, is there any Vulcans on Discovery? Because imagine how hellish that shit would be for a Vulcan.
Yeah, but I mean, it's modern Vulcans, though, isn't it? Like,
it is, yeah. They do seem more...
like, they're open to their emotions. They still
Yes.
fully embrace logic, but like they seem to have like followed the teachings of Spock.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Or the mixture of reincorporating
Romulan
society into Vulcan society has led to a proper merging of
I mean,
cultures.
there definitely still seems to be Vulcan culture and Romulan culture, and like, but they just like coincide.
Yeah,
like they.
But for that to function, Vulcans would have to be a little bit more open to.
Open to it, yeah. But I mean, there's still nothing wrong with controlling it, as well. Like, I mean, obviously, they've the reason that Vulcans became the way that Vulcans did was because they were a species of incredibly violent.
That's the thing. We learn that the DMA has been is heading towards Earth and Navarre. Is it Navarre is Vulcan, isn't it? Just renamed.
It is. Yeah,
it's not a new planet. Renamed. Yeah.
No.
So we learn it's heading to the Alpha Quadrant, to those two planets. And
I think it was meant to be the ancient name before the split,
yes,
or something like that.
And it's sent as a eyes-only message to the President and Burnham. And they have the debate on whether to tell the crew or not. And obviously, Michael is pro. No, we share things. And the President is like, do we really want to share this?
I mean, and both valid points.
Yeah, but Michael knows her crew.
Yeah, that's in the end. But then it isn't just the crew, because there's all the delegates on board.
Yes.
And that's
and we've got the President of Navarre. Is it to what's her name? Turina. We've got the Earth General. Which is interesting because Earth has never had its own fleet before. Not since the days of Archer.
Yeah.
Because Starfleet became the entirety of the Federations. Like a place like Vulcan still has a Vulcan Starfleet, effectively. All the other member worlds still have their own individual...
Yeah.
But Earth doesn't get it.
No.
I mean, I guess there's merchant fleets probably, but...
Probably. But yeah, I think you're probably right. I think it's like... Yeah, it doesn't actually get... Yeah, it doesn't get its own military, but then I think that was possibly a sacrifice that needed to be made.
Yeah.
To,
I guess because it's at least in the 23rd through, well, even from Archer's point through to at least the early 25th, the centre of Starfleet. It's the Washington DC of the Federation.
Yes, yeah. Especially, yeah, because obviously it has the capital.
Yeah.
So.
And really the reason it's not, obviously Earth, by this point in time, the 31st century?
I can't remember what year it's supposed to be.
I think we're in the 31st century now.
Yeah.
What century is Discovery? It's confirmed. Picard is the start of the 25th.
Yes, I've seen.
1 year into the 25th.
Excuse me, sorry.
32nd century.
So yeah, obviously there's some good drama, a nice bit of exposition, some backstory in episode 10, and of course how they get through the galactic barrier.
Yes, by hopping through pockets.
Hopping through little pockets of matter and antimatter. Then we've got so eventually they get through.
Yes, and
which leads us to episode 11,
where they're heading to an away mission to a planet.
which is neighbouring where they believe 10C are based.
So they hope they can find some kind of thing that will allow them to communicate. Not everyone agrees. Some people think this is a waste of time, especially upon the news of it approaching Earth. The Earth general, effectively, is very against this. But Culber, Saru, Burnham, and Detmer go down. There's a wonderful moment between Adira and Detmer as well, like, because obviously Adira seems to be idolising Detmer a bit.
Yeah.
Because she sees Detmer as, I guess, in her mind, the perfect Starfleet officer, calm, cool, collected. Not knowing that Detmer, there's a whole rage of kind of stuff under the surface there.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, she's they are a relatively new member of the team, aren't they? So, so they'll only see what they can see, as opposed to what's come before. So, but it was. I thought it was a lovely piece of writing, actually, because it gave an excuse to expand both characters.
It's also wonderfully awkward that, like, fly well or something like that, and it's just like, will do.
Yeah.
Fly good, I think they say, sorry.
Good. Yeah, it was fly good, yeah.
And there's part of it also that is potentially the worry that one of her dads is going down on this, one of her new parental figures is going down on this.
Like, her like, essentially a adoptive father, like,
and you get to see a bit of, like, the Disco crew working as a unit down there, and it's very Star Trek.
It felt very Mass Effect as well. Actually, I love
the away mission outfits,
like the EV suits.
I love the EV suits. I don't know how I feel about the armor outfits.
I'm not keen on the black ones. Yeah,
they look like something the Terran Empire would wear.
They look like something that, like, should be from what's the Dark Ops
Section 31
division. Yeah, it looks like the Section 31 thing.
I mean, just going back slightly, seeing all the communicators in episode 10 was very cool.
I enjoyed that. Yes.
Also, what mission is he working on? David Cronenberg.
I mean, obviously, he's aware of something big.
Like that character just fascinates me to no end.
Because if there is, I wonder if he's a Q.
Nah. Oh, there is a wonderful moment back to talking about. We discuss it occasionally, Star Trek and representation.
Yeah.
And there's people out there who claim, like, they don't need to shove it down our faces, like, but they're not. Like, the scene that you get here between Culber and Stamets is so lovely. Like, just for kiss goodbye. But the thing is, like, claiming this is like, but there's shoving. No, because that scene is the kind of scene that would play out between, and has played out between any amount of straight couples over the years, right? Yeah. The fact is, like, it's not. I see people say, but they make a big deal of it. They don't. There is no big deal made at any point.
Yeah,
it's just presented to you, like, in the same way that anything else would be presented.
The thing is, it's not an awkward cut or anything like that. It flows so well that, like, it's just a cut. Like, it's just, oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, nothing is being. The problem is, for the people who are complaining about this, is you fundamentally.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a kiss on the cheek.
You're seeing any kind of representation as being an attack on being shoved down your face. It's like, because this is just, Discovery just treats everything along these lines as being perfectly, like, well, yeah, this is just, life.
I mean, the thing, like, you said it's lovely. I don't even think it's, like, lovely. I just think it's like, it's treated so normally.
It's lovely because because we don't.
Yeah.
Because that's still few and far between, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
It's not.
I think that,
it's lovely in context. If you.
Yeah. No. I mean, I wasn't trying to like diminish it, but I think because it's. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. I think because it's so normal.
I think we touched on it a little bit with our Picard review as well. Like,
yeah,
there's so much representation in Star Trek at the moment, and for all for folks out there saying like, they're shoving it all down this, they're not. It is. They're not. It is being treated purely as like, this is just.
It's just life.
Yeah, like these are just people going about there, and
just happens that these two like each other, and just because they've got the same set of genitals,
there's no extreme focus on it. They are just two other characters who are in a relationship, and I think Star Trek is being quietly groundbreaking with this notion.
I mean,
it's same with characters like Adira and Grey and I'd say in Picard, Seven and Raffi and maybe there's something there between Detmer and the ops officer Awasakan. Like, there seems to be at moments hints, but it's all just part of a tapestry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like with Tarka, like the great love is with another man, like, there's never an explicit thing that implies that maybe they were lovers, but he is like his greatest love, that probably including his family.
Yeah.
Is with this person that he shared a tremendously terrible period of life with. And so Star Trek is just showing love.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Infinite diversity and infinite combinations, right? That's
in its various forms. Like, and the thing is that, like, Discovery has an oddly large cast.
Yes.
Like, so what Discovery
and a shifting cast from season, because we have cast members in Discovery that wouldn't necessarily be cast members in a traditional Star Trek show, like the President, like the Admiral, like.
Well, I mean, the thing is, even the crew, the permanent crew is a very large permanent crew.
I would say that's larger than most Star Treks, if you take just for crew on account.
Except when you go back through the older Star Treks, it's quite noticeable that, like, there's periods of, like, multiple episodes where you just simply won't see a character.
Oh yeah.
So, like, the crew is there, like, you know they're there.
Yeah.
But you'll not, like, you might not see Worf for 6 episodes,
like,
or you might.
I'm up to a point where in Voyager where we barely see Kez anymore.
Yeah, well, that's because they're beginning to write her out.
Yeah.
Like, because the Borg is coming, and so, but with Disco, every character is at least seen in almost every episode. They might not say anything, they might not do anything.
On the bridge, they're on.
But they're on the bridge, and the thing is that, like, having that level of freedom means that you can then make those little implications, like you were saying with Awashikun and
because you can get the glance.
You can get the glance, because the thing is that, like, if those two actors just happen to have some chemistry, then it's like, oh, okay, all right. As a writer, you can go, let's explore this. And
it's easy, like, when the action's happening, even if they don't have any, as you say, spoken lines that episode, or much outside of Yes, Captain and things like that, when the shit's hitting the fan, you've got the time when you're showing chaos on the bridge to give us that split-second eye contact between them.
Exactly, yeah. Which might not go anywhere. But at the same time, you've got the advantage of, if you want it to go somewhere, and that chemistry is definitely
a lot
there.
of companies and a lot of companies, a lot of shows that right now Disney like to talk the talk about their representation, but Star Trek's really walking it, I feel, and
Star Trek's always,
and we're not the bastions of this. I mean, we're both straight white dudes. We're not necessarily the.
I mean,
but
yes, we are. We are.
As in, what's this? We're no authority in this arena of what is and what isn't good representation, but it feels like it's good representation too.
But I think the thing is that, like, it also, like, in the same way that, like, being a straight white male is portrayed as normal, like, that's surely
it is, isn't it? That's the.
But I mean, that's surely what representation should be. Everything should be normal.
Yes.
Like, unless you're a psychopath and, like, you know, going out to kill a lot of people, that's not normal. But if it's, you know, harmless, like, you know, then portray it as normal. That's why the kiss, it's as normal as it gets.
Yeah.
It, like, you know,
it's one of us is going on a away mission, come back safe, kind of.
As a straight white male, it just made me think, that'd be just me and my wife.
Even because they're the couple we get the most shot, because I guess they're the only real. Because they're married, aren't they? So they're the only real couple on the ship as such. So
proper couple.
Yeah, so they're the ones we get the shots of domesticity
in that stage of courting. I suppose.
Yeah, they're the couple we get the shots of domesticity with, the home life, effectively. And
I mean, in many ways, they're the dads of the whole ship, as well.
Yeah. And then, and there's the lovely moment. Actually, I think it was maybe last episode where the episodes are. I watched them back to back, so the episodes are a little blurred in my mind. Where Cobra confesses to Michael his problems he's having, that he's struggling to.
It was episode 11.
Yeah,
it was just before they go on the away mission, I think. And
or was it actually? No, it might be when they came back from the away mission.
Yes, because he'd
experienced. She says yes.
Yeah.
Because he lingered in the joy, didn't he? In the joy feelings.
Yeah.
Over these two episodes, we get furthering of his Saru Tarina relationship as well.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Because it's so awkward.
Yes, I love how he brings it up and she's like, gotta go!
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, again, like, you're talking about representation. Like, yes, I'm a straight white male. I'm a very awkward man when it comes to relationships. Like, I am lucky now. I have a wife who somehow, like, I've got a wonderful woman who loves me and I love her, and, you know, we seem to work together. The build up to this, however many years of, like, awkward nonsense with, with women, I fully get what Saru's going through. Like, you know, that's some representation right there. Like, some little weirdo, or in this case, of an incredibly tall weirdo, who has absolutely no idea how to approach this person.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's like, it's lovely.
The away mission stuff as well, with them discovering, like, with them feeling the intense fear emotions, and it's a good episode.
It's called Rosetta because they're
looking for a Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, so that they can potentially communicate.
All through this, Buck and Tarka are crawling around Discovery, using cameras to spy on people, like creepy little people.
Yeah, trying to because they've leached onto Discovery.
And they're trying to hide the fact.
They're trying to hide from Zora. Before she becomes aware.
Which feels like with 32nd century technology would be very hard to do. I feel like that would be hard to do on a modern ship.
But
not on a modern ship, on like a 25th century ship.
But I mean, we've already had the exposition earlier in the series.
But she can't necessarily be everywhere at once.
Well, she can, but because she's now got emotions, she feels overwhelmed by it. Yeah.
So maybe it's easier to hide from a sentient AI than it would be from just going, computer, how many people on this ship? 2 people that aren't expected. Cool.
Yeah. because for her, like, and she's also probably, because of the fact that they had that discussion of like, is she a member of the crew or not? She also potentially wants to respect people's privacy.
Yeah.
So, like, she won't necessarily, unless asked to explicitly, be monitoring all members of the crew.
Yeah.
Like, and therefore won't necessarily be looking for any extra life forms wandering around, unless, of course, it's specific things like microbes or bacteria or something like that.
We get to see what the disco uniform looks like undone, because
yeah, James's favourite thing.
Undone Star Trek uniforms are the best thing.
Good old Tig Notaro.
What is her character's name?
Tig Notaro.
That is, I do just think of her as like Lieutenant Tig Notaro.
I mean, you know, she's one of these actors who just plays themselves, and I mean, we've discussed this before. I don't really care. I don't have a problem with it because, like, she does such a great job with it. And she's not in Discovery a lot, but when she's in it, she's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like,
I just love her as the more disgruntled engineer of her.
Oh yeah, I mean she's totally
she's
like,
a perfect
chief engineer, isn't she?
Pardon?
Like, she's chief engineer, isn't we? I know we discussed this the other week that like they don't seem to have official job titles.
I think
like,
Stamets is chief engineer, but also chief of science because of the nature of a ship.
Yeah. So
maybe she is chief engineer because remember they just kidnapped her from another ship.
yeah.
Like she just ended up on this crew accidentally.
And then, but she also, in the same way that Stamets and oh God, what's his name? The Doctor.
Culber.
Yeah, are definitely the two dads in the situation. She seems to be the aunt. Like the quite stern, like, yeah, just get on with it. Aunt in the situation, like ordering Ractigino extra sweet, extra hot.
Yeah,
and like, yeah, this will sort you out. There you go.
But it's it looks good. The uniform kind of undone and open looks cool.
Yeah.
And she gets kidnapped by
Taka.
Yeah, I just love her reaction when Booker walks back onto his ship. Oh, and Booker's been dealing with the Admiral. With the Earth Admiral. Or General.
General, yeah.
Commander, she's a commander, not a lieutenant, sorry. So she potentially is chief engineer.
Yeah.
Commander Jet Reno.
Yeah.
I think Reno, yeah. I think how it functions is she is the chief engineer of the traditional engines.
Yeah. Of the stuff that needs to be stopped.
So the warp drives, the impulse drives, while Stamets functions for, because it seems to have a combo engineering science.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, like when it was originally made, it was a very, very highly experimental ship. So it probably would have had a chief engineer.
Yeah.
But it also had Stamets to do the specific
the mushroom stuff.
The mushroom stuff. And it's still maintained
that way. I mean, he's married to a giant mushroom.
He is married to a giant mushroom. Yeah.
At this point in time, I think Culber is just, a sentient mushroom. That's how he was reborn. That is how he was reborn, right? He is a.
He is, yeah. Did you spot the Lower Decks reference?
Maybe, maybe not.
So, the way that they distract Commander Reno and the entire engineering crew is by making malfunctions in the replicators, and one of them in particular is just shooting out steamed bananas, which is an issue that happened in Lower Decks.
Yeah,
and I've seen a few tweets about it, and there was one person musing over the like, it would be nice to have a little short trek of oh God, what's his name? The engineer from Enterprise, who
Are we on about which Enterprise? As in
from Enterprise the show.
So VNX1.
Like, yeah, of like, because obviously steamed bananas seems to be a recurring issue throughout all generations of replicators. That maybe it was a joke when he was initially designing a very, very early prototype of a replicator that, like, when things go wrong, steamed bananas, and it was something that was put into the program.
It's an error code.
It's an error code, yeah. It's a fail-safe. It's like, if something goes wrong, steamed bananas. And so that's it. Like, I'd love that to be canon. Like, I mean, I know it isn't, obviously, but yeah, it was just a nice little joke.
But I think on that note,
we didn't properly mention the fact that, like, the species that they found, the Rosetta Stone,
they have emotion dust.
Like, it's emotion dust, so it seems to be pheromones. So they communicate through pheromones.
Because of course, emotion dust is how this crew is going to save the day.
Yeah, they're just gonna get high, essentially.
But it's more like, you know why Disco's the best ship? Because we're in touch with their feelings.
Yeah,
that's how they save everything.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I assume they're going to try and get into whatever it is.
They're going to fly through the war for Bubble and go see 10C next week, I imagine. Next week is where we will get the 10C reveal.
Yeah.
So how many episodes are left? 2 episodes left? What? We just done episode 11, so it'll be 12 and 13 left.
Is it just 13?
I think it's 13. Discovery seasons are usually 13.
Is it 13 or 14?
I think it's 13.
Yeah.
Because Picard's on its own for a while, and then I think the last episode of Picard is in sync with the first episode of Strange New Worlds, and oh my god, am I excited for that show.
Yes.
Because they've said that is episodic. It's not going to be a big arc and story. It is going to be...
traditional Trek.
Yeah.
It's most traditional, which is good. I'm happy with that.
I'm fine with having... I think
I still want the over arc of, like, leading towards Pike's.
Yeah.
And, like, you know,
that could be a character trait more than a.
It's a character arc rather than a story.
I'm happy with I was very happy with Ethan Peck's Spock. And I think we're going to potentially see a Spock become colder over this to get us to, like, TOS Spock.
Yeah. I mean, he has just seen his sister disappear into the future.
Yeah.
Like, the only person he really ever connected with other than his mother.
I'm very excited for Thingy as number 1.
Oh, Rebecca Romaine as number 1.
Love her as an actress.
Yeah. And I think she's just going to have some fun as well, isn't she?
And Anson Mount is brilliant.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
And that set, oh my God, that bridge.
Yeah.
I've seen people grumbling like, but it doesn't look like it should.
Like, I mean, it does.
It
look
does.
At side by sides.
It looks like
really does. It's made of better materials.
These people are claiming it needs to look exactly like it's made out of paper and cardboard.
Yeah.
They were arguing that, well, we used the old bridge in TNG and Deep Space Nine when we went back to it. And Enterprise, like, it was fine then. Why now all of a sudden is it not fine? It's like, because it was a spare set they had back then.
Yeah.
It was for one episode as a kind of nostalgia bait. Yeah. This is an entire series. Do you... Like, I feel like, be honest. Do you really want to watch an entire modern television show?
The other thing is...
In
theory, like... Kirk could have very well said, redecorate my bridge. It's my bridge now.
I don't think it is redecorated.
Like, I want carpets, and I want some...
Is there carpets on the TOS deck?
No, I don't think there are.
No. Carpets are a 24th century thing.
Yeah.
Where they decided, like, Starfleet need to look like cruise liners.
Well, yeah, I mean, because the thing is that, like, after World War III, like, carpets were forgotten. The whole world forgot what carpets were.
Well, I wonder if does
We
Sweetness
only
have
had exposed
carpets?
steel. I don't know.
I would just like at some point a lower decks gag where it's someone's job to hoover the carpets on the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see Boimler doing that,
Yeah.
even if it wasn't his job.
Yeah.
Like, just like they, just a comment by the captain, like, it's very clean in here. Like, and it just turns out that like Boimler just
has been
likes to get up in
hoovering
the just for fun. Gets up in the middle of the night. Like, now he's allowed to do night shift. Because he has, hasn't he? He's been allowed to do a night shift, I think, hasn't he?
on the deck.
Yeah. So like maybe
On the bridge,
if he gets
sorry.
on the bridge. Yeah. So like, if he gets to do night shift, he just brings out the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. Oh, and on that note,
Yeah. And on that night,
we
yes.
shall see you next week.
Yeah. For more disco and more Picard on the brand new channel. What is it called again, James? Because I keep putting the words the wrong way around.
Bears boldly go.
Bears boldly go. Like,
We've still got to like create the channel at the point of us discussing this, but
yeah. But like and subscribe. Please.
I'll create it when it's uploaded. Yes, and on that note, we shall see you guys.
Bye.